presented by Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to It Had to Be Said with Venus. I'm Venus, here with Mr. Stolle.
Sup?
Stop. So, how was America yesterday? That was Memorial Day you guys had yesterday, right?
Veterans Day.
Or Vet Day. Veterans Day. Okay, yeah, we had Remembrance Day here in Canada yesterday.
Essentially the same thing.
Yeah. We just like to have... It's something we have to call it different things.
Yeah, it sucked for me. I was working, being a vet myself, and yet for some reason I had to work yesterday.
You would think that you would get like a paid vacation. We get paid vacations in Canada. Like it's a paid holiday.
Yeah, only government facilities and stuff like, trash wasn't picked up and the post office was closed, but people who work menial labor jobs like myself, we don't care if you served our country. Get your ass to work.
Right? Like, haven't I done enough for you guys? Oh, fucking communism and capitalism, eh?
Oh, I'll take capitalism over communism any day.
It sounds like a bit of...
Bernie Sanders could take his free health care and shove it up his ass. I don't want free health care if it's going to cost me 90% in taxes.
No doubt. How are you supposed to live off of that? You can't. You better just get sick and be hospitalized. That's pretty much what it comes down to, is hospitalize me, feed me, and change my diapers.
That's exactly it. Oh, what? You can't think about it as we're taking money away from you. We're just evenly distributing it to other people that don't want to work.
Yeah, fuck right off. Do you guys have your moment of silence in the States too?
Again, I don't necessarily think that it's something that is recognized nationally. Like everybody has to bow their head and be quiet for a moment. But it's something that like people do individually, whether they're contemplating at a memorial or cemetery, or maybe at their own personal family gatherings, especially if they have, service member family members, particularly if they're service members that are no longer with us. But it's not something that's like nationwide observed, if you will.
See, like 20 years ago, when I was like in I was like little kid school, we used to have like 11:11 every single year on the dot, like 11 a.m., 11 minutes past 11 a.m., and we would have a moment of silence. My kids didn't even have school yesterday for Remembrance Day.
The only time I know we do something similar to that is September 11th. We usually have a moment of silence the day the tower, or the minute the towers fell.
See, we were doing that in Canada as well, like when I went to grade school. Because like it affected the whole world. There were Canadians in that building and stuff.
Right.
It was like 100 Canadians or some stuff. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a fair number of Canadians there, so it kind of hit hard here too as well.
No, regardless of whether they were Americans or Canadians, 3,000 people lost their lives in a senseless attack. Yeah, the world itself should mourn. It was just a senseless act of violence.
Yeah, and accomplished what? Oh, covered up, so like $2.some trillion that went missing that same day?
Yeah, I don't buy into the 9/11 conspiracy theories.
Touching into conspiracies, I know, I can't not drop those conspiracy bombs.
No, I have no problem with conspiracies. I don't buy into the 9/11 conspiracies. Too many of them is just looking for an excuse to blame the government. And I'll be the first one to admit that the government's to blame for a lot of shit. But in that particular case, it was radical Muslims. I'm sorry if it pisses you off to hear it, but it was radical Muslims.
Yeah, so speaking of radical Muslims, before we even get into that, we'll have a moment of silence for Remembrance Day because I think the whole show was sent on yesterday, right? All of Realm of the Mist, right? Or was there any podcast?
I'm sorry. One more time. You got a lot of static going on.
Oh, sorry. Was there lots of Did we have any podcasts yesterday?
Yes, but it was a pre-recording and it hasn't released yet. Breaking the fourth wall. Ray did an interview, so. But beyond that, no, nothing released yesterday.
Okay. Well, we'll take a moment of silence now for Remembrance Day and Veterans Day and like all our fallen soldiers. So you gonna time a minute?
Sure.
All right.
We'll start it right about now.
Now.
And that's 1 minute.
A minute is a very long time.
I've got to ask, where are you? Because like the noises that were going on sounded like you were either walking outside in the wind or like a giant was crashing into your ceiling.
You know, it might just be my headphones because I'm using a headset. I'll actually
now you're clear. One. Now you're clear and sound better.
So
it probably is the headset.
Yeah, it was probably a short in it or something. Yeah, so you're gonna hear a little bit more noise. I'm just gonna run downstairs. My kids are watching Stranger Things right now.
Stranger Things?
Yeah, they started a whole Netflix series binge of Stranger Things, so they're on that. Right.
Nothing wrong with that, but they're around my kids' age, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, actually, they turned it down. They're awesome.
I can't get my youngest to watch a horror to save his life. Like he had nightmares all night and made me sit up with him all night one night because he saw a red-eyed SpongeBob on YouTube.
Oh, my what did we watch? That movie, oh, fuck it. What was it called? Just one moment, I'm switching headphones. So, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we watched Ian, or whatever it was called, on Netflix about the little boy that's like allergic to everything and ends up in the going to get fixed, and it turns out he's like possessed by a demon. Okay. And it's a whole cult thing where they try to exorcise him. And so we watched that movie, and my kids weren't even fazed by it. The Amityville Horror, though, they were totally, they were shook by.
Which version? The original 70s movie or the Ryan Reynolds remake?
Oh, which one was it? It was it even the Amityville Horror? It was the baby became an adult and she ended up inheriting this house and Jesus Christ. I don't even think it was the Amityville Horror, but we watch a lot of horror movies and they go to bed after.
And
I think it's better.
My daughter'd be all about it. It's my son. He's not about it at all.
Well, how old is he?
9.
Yeah, my son's kind of like that too. He's like, I don't really want to watch it, and he'll cover his face at some parts and stuff, and then he'll have to talk the whole movie out with me afterwards and be like, well, that happened and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, buddy, it's just actors. It's just there for entertainment. And he's like, well, why would anyone want to entertain you like that?
You know what? Sometimes scaring the shit out of you is what you need to spark an interest. When I was 5 years old, I saw the movie Jaws. Scared the living shit out of me. Like, I wouldn't take baths anymore because I was afraid Jaws would come up through the drain. I started taking showers, but at the same time, it created a lifelong obsession with sharks, particularly great whites. So.
Well, he loves like recreating like videos he's seen on YouTube or like reenacting stuff like that. So like watching horror movies is like, no, that's not blood, that's syrup, and they do it like this, and it's just an actor, and the stuff on his face, they just use this stuff to make it look like it's peeling off, and he's like right interested in it now.
Right.
So yeah, it sparked a little bit of an interest. Instead of just playing around with little puppets and back and forth. He hasn't made any horror videos yet, but I mean, he likes making videos. Oh yeah, and he'll be like, "Okay, look, we're gonna put ketchup on your face now."
Well, is he into role play like Dungeons and Dragons or anything? Tabletop rolling dice.
I don't know. He likes Monopoly and he likes Legos.
The reason I ask is Ray and I over at the sister channel Sounds Dicey are setting up a younger version Dungeons and Dragons game for kids. We're going to be using Ray's children and my children playing bi-weekly called Little Crits. So I don't know if they'd be interested or not. It'd be all children around each other's ages.
Yeah, I'll ask them about it for sure. I'm sure they would love to have their own little show going on. That'd be awesome.
That's it. Well, we figured it was a market nobody's touching. Dungeons and Dragons for kids, starring kids, playing kids.
And you're going to be there to, like, be the referee in between?
No. I'm just recording it. Ray's the dungeon master telling the story.
Okay. That'd be pretty cool.
The cute thing is that they'll learn about is that their world exists with the Chronicles of the Lost Realm world. So things they do will have ramifications on our show.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask them if they're interested.
That'll be pretty neat. So,
it would be.
Yeah, my kids have already signed on. Ray's kids are down to do it. So yeah, I would say talk to Ray and talk to your kids, see if they want to do it. You can set up a character.
For sure. For sure, yeah.
All right, enough self-promotion.
All right, so on to the drama that has happened with Remembrance Day yesterday. So, like, I don't know if you know who Don Cherry is. But Don Cherry is a huge Canadian name. Like, he is Mr. Canadian Hockey. Coach's Corner, Sportsnet, whenever hockey's going on, he's there and he's got his 2 cents and, like, he's great. And he's been there for 40 years. So he helped make, like, Canadian hockey what it is.
That was going to be my question. Like, I knew he was involved with hockey, but I didn't know if it was like the National Hockey League or if it was like the more minor leagues or, if he was an announcer, if he was a team owner. Like, I didn't really know his position. I just knew he was a part of hockey.
Yeah, he's an announcer, but, every time we watch Canadian hockey, everybody's looking for Don Cherry. When restaurants, like sports bars have promotions, Don Cherry is, like, he's postered up there, and, he's huge in Canada. And so he made he made a little video telling people to wear a poppy for Remembrance Day. Oh my god, and the left has lost their fucking shit over this. Completely lost their mind. And there's, like, even a few leftists that are like, what in the actual fuck has happened here? He made some comments saying that even immigrants and, everyone who's in Canada should wear a poppy. He's like, you like our milk and honey, and those were his words, our milk and honey, which could pretty much mean anything. You like the abundance of stuff you have in Canada, and, you've got these soldiers to thank for this, so wear a poppy. And it doesn't even cost much for a poppy, okay? So go buy a poppy.
Yeah, it's like
you
a
can
buck.
donate. You could donate 5 cents for a freaking poppy. Usually I'll donate like a toonie for a poppy, but you could donate 5 cents. And it's not even the fact of how much you pay for these things. It's the fact that you wear it for this one fucking day. So he's been called out as being radical. He's divisive. He's a racist now all of a sudden. and he's lost his job. And this motherfucker is not apologizing for anything that he said, and the internet's blowing up over this.
Good. I'm glad
Don-
somebody's standing their ground. Absolutely. God forbid you're a racist and you're a divisive person because you show love and respect for your country and think that everybody else in that country should also show that kind of respect, whether they were naturally born there or a legal immigrant who came over. Show respect for the country you live in and the people who helped create that country. That makes total sense to me. I'm glad he's standing his ground. In fact, he's got my support 100%.
Exactly. We've got groups and everything. I invited you to this group. I support Don Cherry and Buck Sportsnet pretty much. And so this whole thing is because 100 people on Twitter are like, oh no, what a racist, blah, 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 blah. He's so radical, blah, 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 blah. Are you fucking kidding me? Radical, to stand up for Canada, for the people who helped create Canada. This guy's old. He probably lost, best friends during these wars. He probably lost family members, his cousins. He probably, hugged them goodbye as they fucking boarded to go to Germany, okay? In Normandy. He's got every fucking right to tell you to wear a poppy. He was there pretty much. Well, I don't know if he was actually drafted, but I mean, he was greatly impacted in his lifetime. He's that old. Come on.
Well, see, maybe I don't know about it. I know during World War II, the United States had a draft. Did Canada have a draft?
I don't even know. I don't they're okay. So my great uncle was he got he went to war twice. He got this Purple Heart or something. He passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace. God bless your heart.
He's one of the people you wear a poppy for.
Exactly. I know there's a huge war going on right now between millennials and boomers, but there's this one day where millennials get to be millennials because of these boomers, okay? So we show them this moment of respect. There's one fucking day, okay? And now we've got
Wait, I don't get that. I don't get the millennial boomer thing. First off, I'm Gen X, so I'm in between the millennials and the boomers. But I don't get how the millennials are right in this. I mean, the beginnings of this whole SJW movement and the extreme left started with the millennials, and of course is now in Generation Y or Woo or whatever the fuck they call themselves nowadays. But
Generation Y.
Boomers are primarily
1994.
But boomers are primarily patriots, if not conservative or liberal. They're still usually patriots.
So the baby boomer generation ended in 1964.
Right.
So they could not even. Lots of them weren't even affected by the war that ended in 1964. Lots of them weren't.
Right.
That are still alive today, and that even give a shit about this. I don't know how their anyways, we're not going to get into this whole generation war. That would take up a whole other show.
No. I'm just trying to understand the whole entire battle between millennials and boomers.
Well, because you know how millennials are always picked on, millennials don't do this, millennials this, millennials that.
Because
I'm a millennial.
Suck.
I'm a millennial, okay? Most of the millennials I know have jobs, have lives, take care of their kids. And I'm sitting here wow, you guys are talking about millennials like they were born after the year 2000. So you guys are full-grown ass adults talking about kids that are not even 19 years old yet.
I understand it's something lost in translation because of upbringings and stuff. And you know what? The millennials and the generations afterwards, it's my generation's fault. It really is. We were the ones that were too young having kids and didn't know how to take care of them, and the world was changing and we were kind of stuck in between Generation X. So I mean, the way current generations is really our fault more than the boomers. That's why I don't get the millennial boomer attack on each other. It's if you want to blame anybody, blame my generation.
Well,
you're wrong, but blame my generation.
Yeah, I totally think it. If you want to blame millennials and be like, oh, it's all your fault because of this shit, I'm like, first off, millennials are now at least like 24 years old. The majority of them are working. The majority of them have families. You know, like most of them have owned a car. You know, had car payments. They've lived life. Okay, so they're not these like little fucking retarded kids that you guys want to point out. Plus, those little retarded kids that you guys are talking about. I'm not saying they were little retarded kids. It's just a vague description. They're all like under 18 years old. Leave the fucking kids alone. Like belittling children is not going to teach them how to become proper adults. But
that I'll agree with, but at the same time, when we're talking, especially when we're talking about minors, which again, I don't think that necessarily constitutes a millennial. I mean, they're like
when
like
people,
the next generation. But the point being is like belittling is wrong. However, raising these kids right would fix this problem a lot. Like,
but see, this is what it comes down to is,
you know, put down the Dr. Spock fucking books. Your kid is not your best friend. Start whooping some ass, putting in some corners, start taking away their little electronics, and teaching these little bastards how to be respectful fucking members of society.
well, see, the thing is boomers are saying that millennials this, millennials that. And we've all heard how millennials are. But see, I'm a millennial, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, boomers are saying this. I'm like, boomers are our motherfucking parents. You're the ones who raised us. If anything is wrong here, it's your parenting skills.
Again, the boomers aren't the parents, though. Gen X are the parents. The boomers are like the grandparents.
No, well, see, my mom was born in 1963. My dad was born in 1943. So I have two generations of parents, and I'm a millennial. So I'm like, wow, who screwed up here? Because we've got the whole time. And then even if it was a Gen X who actually like birthed these millennials, okay, and it really depends on the time you were born. So if you're born in 1979, you're obviously not having a millennial.
I was born in 77, and I have a 23-year-old.
Okay, so
I'm a Gen X who has a millennial.
I'm a millennial who has a Gen Z and two Gen Zs and one Gen Alpha.
Wait a minute, the new ones are called alphas? In the world where alpha anything has been completely lost and destroyed, the next generation is called alpha. Figure that one out.
Yeah. And so, you know, like, what are we really doing? Like, fighting each other? We've got children coming into this world, okay? So we don't need to be worrying about who fucked it up more. It's like, listen, Grandma and Grandpa, shut the fuck up, okay? Your kids that you're bitching about are now parents, and you're supposed to be grandparents now.
Well, hold that thought, because I just got
parents now.
Hold that thought a second. Like, keep going, but just to let you know, we are bringing somebody into the conversation.
Oh, who's that?
Mr. AKA himself.
Oh, he loves this type of talk. Bring him in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on now. Go ahead and keep going with what you were saying. I'm just letting you know he wants in, so I'm trying to pull him up in
Is
now.
Is he listening to this? Okay, so yeah, so now like we've all got these like Gen Alphas coming into this world. So it does like Gen Z they're hitting the age of majority now. They're like my 9-year-old and my 10-year-old are Gen Z. Okay, so they're coming up to the age that they're like, you know, teenage, whatever. And not only that, we're having infants that are going to be inheriting this world after us. We don't need to be Gen as adults.
For Americans, Gen Z is Generation Z. We don't call Z Z. We just call it Z. So I figured I'd clarify for the idiots that don't know the difference.
Yeah, about my daughter's like laughing earlier because it's like -20 here. Well, it's actually like -3 here today. So it's just like just a bit below like your 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And she's like, wow, Americans are so stupid. They think we live in igloos. And they think that we have like all these like weird Canadian things. She's like, how stupid are they? I'm like, you wonder how stupid Americans and I hope Americans don't get offended, but I like 62% of Americans still believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. And she's like,
no,
what?
we don't. And
We
speaking
did
of
not think that.
speaking of things,
Think with a piano.
speaking of things that secrete chocolate milk, Mr. AKA is joining us.
Welcome.
AKA Chocolate Deluxe. Anyways. Okay, wait a minute. I'm not a fan of chocolate milk. Who came up with this dumb shit? Don't get me started today.
Oh, it's already starting. We're right now. We're discussing about the to fill you in. We're on the topic of the Mr. Cherry guy who was again. Is he an announcer for Canadian hockey? I'll go announcer for Canadian hockey who has been fired and booted off the air. Who was booted off the air because of the fact that he stated that even in Canada, even immigrants should be wearing the poppy in remembrance of soldiers who had died during the wars, during Remembrance Day, which is their Veterans Day. And like it was a little bit more detailed than that, but there was no way, shape, or form disrespectful or derogatory. And he's been labeled a racist and divisive and removed from the air. And from what Venus was describing to me, this guy's basically like a national icon, like a sports icon. He's Canada's Rocky.
Yeah, like if Trailer Park Boys, pretty much equality.
Wait a minute.
When you
He's
think
Canada's Rocky?
No, I was comparing him. like you know how Rocky, Rocky is an icon to the city of Philadelphia. Apparently, this guy's an icon to Canadian hockey, so to Canada in general.
Like Gretzky?
Pretty much like a Gretzky.
Yeah, but more iconic because he's been there for 40 years and he's like coach's corner, like he's there, the one giving you the lay down, like blah 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 blah, this happened, blah 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 blah. And when huge hockey events come around, it's like Don Cherry is plastered everywhere. Like we look forward to Don Cherry. I don't even watch hockey, and I know who this guy is. Okay.
Damn. So basically, it's sort of like people with Michael Jackson.
Essentially. But he had stated that everybody should be wearing a poppy. Just like in America, we can get the poppy from vets standing outside of a Walmart or whatever. Donate a couple pocket change or $1, and you get a little fake flower that you wear in remembrance of those who have served and died.
Don't tell me. They basically thought this was him making a heroin joke.
No, they thought he was basically being a racist against the immigrants.
What? That makes no sense.
Right? That is how 90% of the internet is reacting to this. Just what?
Just what? Okay, we got bigger shit to fry. What the hell?
Well, we were talking about how the left has lost their fucking minds with this shit.
Everybody lost their goddamn minds. The right is on the other side. They got Flavor Flav in office, and then on the left side, everybody wants to be offended by every motherfucking single thing. Man, I can't even go call a manhole a manhole. They want to call it a utility hole now. Apparently in California, that don't make no damn sense to me whatsoever.
Well,
first of all,
Before we started recording, I came across an article. I didn't get to fully read yet, but apparently there's a bakery that is putting out gingerbread men. But the sign does not read gingerbread men. They are gingerbread gender fluid persons.
Okay.
This is your modern left.
That's extremist left. That's what the fuck it is. Man, black people don't even fuck with that type of left.
I don't.
We
You know what? No.
Yeah, but they're ruining it.
You know what? This show is always designed on controversy. So I've got to ask, and I'm glad we got a black person to ask this. Why the fuck do black people vote for Democrats?
Okay, to be quite honest, sometimes I wonder why the fuck we vote for any of these motherfuckers.
Well, no. Understand where I'm coming from, because the history of
Yeah.
it, the people who started slavery were Democrats. The people who started the Ku Klux Klan were Democrats. The ones who voted to keep slavery were Democrats. Why are they supported by the African Americans?
Because when they made the switch back in the civil rights movement,
There was no switch. That is false.
here's the thing: it was a switch with the Kennedys. That's what made us go Democrat.
The Kennedys may have been a switch, but there was no switch. The Republicans, the Republican Party was formed to stop slavery.
That's just it. Republicans. Let me put it like this: the party changed back before the '60s. Okay, that's why we made the switch and went with Kennedy, because Kennedy was actually trying to push civil rights. For a long time, yes, we were very much Republican in black culture. It's true. It's a very true statement. That's facts. But, as times change and organizations change, we made the change too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying either side is right, because both sides are pretty fucked up and secretly racist.
Well, see, yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and that wasn't the point. But to give you an example of why I asked this, and we lost Venus. Hopefully, we get her back in, especially since it is her show. But let me give you an example of why I asked this. Here in Philadelphia, we had a mayor. We have a mayor called Mayor Kenny. Okay, and this guy is absolute corrupt trash. All right, and as you know, the elections just recently happened throughout for municipalities and cities and states, and the election was between him and another Republican candidate, and Philadelphia has not had a Republican city official. We did not. Oh, she's back. Okay.
I didn't open to the call.
A Republican city official in forever. Now, the thing is, the reason I state this is I don't care that the Republican didn't win, but what makes no sense to me is this guy is the guy who did win, who got reelected, is responsible for ripping off taxpayers. Has already been busted, pocketing tax money. Has started a sugar and soda tax that was supposed to go to schools and roads, but our roads are the worst they've ever been. He turned our city into a sanctuary city, allowing illegals in, give them free shit while we have an abundance of homeless people in the city. And then on top of it is opening up free injection, or not free, but safe injection sites, houses for heroin addicts to go get their drugs and shoot up without recourse because it's a safe area to do it. This is the person they voted the fuck in.
Safe injection sites, though. Who are they really for? The person injecting, or the kids that don't have to walk to the park and pick up the needles and stab themselves and get AIDS?
It's a little column A and little column B, but I think the right way to handle it is get rid of heroin addicts. Start giving death penalty to fucking the junk pushers.
I don't know, man. That's a little bit too far.
No, it's not. I
don't think we need to kill
heroin. I'm not talking about the user. I'm talking about the dealer. Heroin is an epidemic in this world. The fact that anybody sells heroin, to me, that ranks right up there with being a person who fucking harms a child or a person who fucking commits a mass shooting. You know damn right well the poison you're peddling.
I'm going to argue with that one, man. But look, I'm not saying the safe injection sites are a great thing. Yes, I have my thoughts about it as well. I think it's a double-edged sword. I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, I think there is a better resource that we can use and maybe start really working on our American rehabilitation system that we don't take seriously.
You know what?
That's one of the problems. We don't take rehab. We don't take mental health serious. There's always a cause to a problem, and we don't focus on what could actually stop this epidemic.
That's because that's owned by the pharmaceutical companies.
That's what I'm saying. This all started when we used to think that Oxycontin was non-addictive. Remember those commercials?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. And I know Pennsylvania for a fact. You guys have one of the worst epidemics right now on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah, opioids in general. Not just Oxycontin, but just opioids in general.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's rampant out here in the East Coast, particularly in my city.
Just a race Yeah, I mean,
as we're talking about controlled substance prescriptions. He's asking for a refill.
What? I had to get myself a tasty beverage.
There you go. Venus, you're still with us, right? We're not trying to take over your show. It's just something. It was just a question that led to this.
Well, as I came on, I haven't seen the homie Venus in a long time. She don't talk to me no more. Thank you, my man.
Well, it's not like you.
It's not like what?
The last
Oh, I'm sorry.
time you messaged me.
I was trying to let you know when you said that, like, we hung up on you. It's like, no, we didn't. You just on our end, it just said you left the conversation.
Oh.
Yeah, because Venus don't like me no more. She don't want to talk to me no more.
Aw, you know I got love for you.
I would hope so, girl. I haven't talked to you since you had your kid. I was like, man, she don't love me no more. She's too busy with her family. She got a man.
I'm such a bad woman.
God forbid she's paying attention to her newborn child.
Right.
How dare she care about her kids and her boyfriend more than me, or husband, or whoever you are. Are you married?
No.
I've been trying to figure that out. I was like, is Venus like married? Does she have a boyfriend? What's the whole situation with that?
I like to keep guessing.
It's immaculate.
Never reveal too much. You need some mystery in your life.
Mystery. She's got a turkey baster.
Oh. Turkey baster.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah. So speaking of children, I guess we could change this whole subject now.
Sure, why not?
But so speaking of children, on to T.I. So T.I. getting his, checking his 19-year-old daughter's hymen to see if she's still a virgin.
That's creepy.
What do we think about this?
It's creepy.
It's creepy. I like the fact that a father is stepping up to try to keep his child right.
For what? For himself?
No, just in general.
Why does he care?
I see that that's going to be a psychological problem down the line. Personally, that's going to be some issues because
right.
That's like, okay, look. One day I might end up with a daughter, right?
Might end up with one.
I don't know. Like, all depends. If some woman ever actually wants to procreate with me, that's a whole different story. I mean, yeah, one day I do want kids. If I end up with a wonderful daughter, is it really my business to know what's going down in there?
Down in there? No. That's why I say it is creepy that he wants to, have her hymen checked. But that's not what I'm applauding. What I'm applauding is a father taking interest in the well-being of his daughter and making sure that she's not going out and having unprotected sex and hanging out with the wrong people and winding up as one of these people who, one of these girls who wind up as a teenage, mother with a deadbeat boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or, fuckboy who hit it and quit it, and now she's stuck with the bill, which means daddy's stuck with the bill. First off, he's rich as fuck. There's not any bill that he can't pay. Doesn't matter.
Not a bill he can't pay at all. Secondly, she's 19. Next is, why the fuck does he care? What?
I gotta agree with Venus on this one. Like, I'm sorry, like, that's just going too far. You're now, like, your daughter is 19. She's a grown woman. She's going to do some grown shit. Eventually, she's going to leave your house. And when she leaves your house, believe me, it's going to be all out, whatever the fuck she wants to do.
Well, you know what? I'm going to retract my statement because I didn't know the age of the daughter. I thought we were talking about a minor. If we're talking 19, she's a grown-ass adult. He needs to mind his own fucking business. I thought we were talking about like a 16-year-old. If we're talking about a 16-year-old, again, the hymen thing's a little creepy, but trying to raise your daughter right, I applaud. 19 years old, no.
That's not raising her. That's control. That's a complete control issue. Does he want this girl to go out in the world one day and have complete daddy issues? Daddy's controlling her to the point that he's having a gynecologist spread her legs and check her fucking vagina for a hymen that's still intact. Is this the type of, influence he wants to have on her, that she's going to think it's okay for men to, have their type of control over her to the point where she's like being violated pretty much by her daddy.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. Again, when we were talking about a 16-year-old, again, as far as the Hymen part itself, that's a no-go at any age. But we're talking about we're talking about an adult woman who, again, once I don't know how it is in Canada, in the United States, once they're 18, they're adults. They can go do what they want. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but you can't stop it anymore. Like, my 23-year-old still does shit that I don't like. But you know what? He's an adult. I can't stop him.
Man, I'm about to say, man, because one day she gonna end up wilding out, man. And next thing you know, it's fucking orgies and glory holes and teabagging and all types of shit.
Her nickname's going to be Finger Cuffs.
And that's what I'm saying. He keeps up with that shit, she's gonna go crazy one day. She's gonna be like, I'm out of daddy's reach. I'm sucking dick all night.
Wait, like, okay, so he's checking her vagina for her hymen. Like, is he not aware that there's different kinds of sex that you don't actually need vaginal intercourse for? Like, there's anal sex. Does he want, like, that? You're more likely to get AIDS from anal sex if he's worried about her getting STDs or whatever. Why is he not teaching her how to use a condom properly? She's 19 years old. What the hell does he think is on a 19-year-old girl's mind? Fucking.
Well,
we've all been there.
That's what college is for.
Let's not forget, too,
right?
There's multiple ways for a hymen to be broken that isn't sexual. I mean, riding a bike and hitting a bump could break your hymen.
Exactly.
Okay, that's not, like, extremely likely to happen, but...
It can happen. There are non-sexual ways of breaking the hymen.
She could be masturbating and it fucking happens.
She could put a tampon in and it breaks. Okay, like...
I mean, she could be practicing WWE moves and she does a botch or some shit. Boom. Hymen. Okay, I'm being stupid now.
I'm calling this move the hymen breaker.
The hymen breaker. It's the hymen breaker. 1, 2, 3.
He kicked out of the hymen maker, but wait, here comes the divergenizer. Oh shit.
It's like, oh, here it comes. She just dropped it like it's hot.
Good lord.
Oh, she's countering with the child support. Oh, he's running like a bitch.
He's running.
I guess we can't see him.
The core driver.
We can't see him, but they'll see him in court.
Wow.
John, if you're listening to this podcast, I apologize for that.
Oh,
what happened, John?
What are you talking about? It's gonna be a toasty day in hell for us. I can already see it.
but no, yeah,
is
like.
It snowing where you guys are at now?
What's that?
Has it been snowing for you guys in the East Coast and in Canada?
Yeah, we've got snow.
Well, they live in igloos.
Really,
with our brown chocolate milk cows.
Really. No, not really. But Venus, before you came on, Venus was talking about how her daughter thinks Americans are stupid because like 60-some-odd% of us think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows, and that Canadians live in igloos, and it's like that's. But which, by the way, that's not true. I mean, there are some stereotypes that we think about with Canadians, like you put maple syrup on everything. Hockey is life, and y'all are about the nicest fucking people on the planet. Like, it's almost impossible to piss off a Canadian.
I believe me, it's very possible to piss off Canadians.
No, but that's the stereotypes that Americans do hold for Canadians.
Our hockey teams lose, though, and we go and burn down cities. So,
but only French Canadian.
Man, y'all turn shit into fucking
Attica. About the French Canadians.
It's like Attica.
Oh, what?
Well, you never heard of Attica?
No.
Okay, Attica was a prison that was taken over by the prisoners, and it was like fucking chaos. Like they were mad because of how the system was fucking them up, and so motherfuckers were like burning shit, throwing shit out of their fucking cells and shit. It was crazy. It was like back in the 80s.
We burned down Edmonton like a couple years ago. because the hockey team lost. That's how much Canada means to us. That's how bad we can be. We burned down the White House, okay?
Hey.
Canada burned down your White House.
Hey.
That did happen.
You guys have sports-wise, you have nothing on Philadelphians. Remember, we threw fucking ice balls at Santa Claus.
Okay, y'all were just being mean that day. Y'all were salty.
We flipped beamers, okay?
You know what we do in Kansas City? You know what we do in Kansas City when we win like big championships? Like when we won the World Series? A whole day and nobody getting arrested and no crime. That's what we do because we're responsible, unlike you Canadians and Philadelphians.
They allowed themselves a second helping of corn on the cob. They allowed themselves a second helping of corn on the cob. That was how they celebrated. No, Montreal can be mad though. I remember.
I thought it was like somebody else. I was walking in the car going.
Okay, if you're gonna talk about Quebec compared to Canada, Quebec is like not Canada. Well, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
No, but with Montreal, I remember when Metallica and Guns N' Roses were on tour. Back in 91, 92, and that was the show where James Hetfield got torched by the pyrotechnics, the lead singer of Metallica, and they had to rush him to the hospital. So Metallica had to stop their performance, and Guns N' Roses came out, and they could have been the heroes of the night and did like a 2-hour set and had everybody happy because everybody was worried about James going to the hospital for the burns and shit. But Guns N' Roses played like one song. Axl threw a shit fit, walked off stage, and what ensued was the Montreal riots. So where they were flipping cop cars and burning shit, all because Axl couldn't fucking stay on stage and sing a song.
Did you see Drake off stage?
Who booed Drake off? Working here? Huh? Oh, it works.
So you did. I know. Like the rest of Canada that looks at Quebec and is particularly like Montreal is like not Canada, but still kind of the same premise.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, though. Man, I always hear there's some type of riot going on in Philadelphia. Y'all be tripping, especially when the 76ers lost the finals back in like the early 2000s. Y'all were tripping.
Wait, Philadelphians care about basketball?
They used to.
Like I know we love our hockey and I know we love our football, but basketball and baseball is usually pretty tame. Like I'll give you an example.
Y'all were all about that.
I'll give you an example. You go to a Flyers game and have the nerve to show up a Devils jersey, you will be taken out in a stretcher.
Okay, first of all, nobody's trying to do that. That's completely suicide. That's like me showing up in the Chiefs jersey in the black hole in Oakland. That's suicide, okay?
Or a Cowboys jersey at an Eagles game. You're going to be missing teeth.
Okay, first of all, I got more self-esteem than to wear a Cowboys jersey.
But when it comes to the 76ers or the Phillies, 9 times out of 10 that crowd is usually pretty tame. It's the aggressive sports. Now,
okay, first of all, who watches the Phillies on purpose?
I do.
What is wrong with you? Get a better team. Have some self-esteem. Love yourself.
Hey, I do love myself. You know what? I got my reward. Same way as supporting the Eagles all these years. I got my reward in 2008 from the Phils winning a World Series, and I got to watch Philadelphia tear itself apart. Dumbasses climbing fucking signposts and street lights and fucking jumping on awnings until they break and they fall and break their necks and shit. Or when the Eagles won and one dumbass turned around and was so happy he jumped down onto the ground and started eating horse shit.
What?
That's my city, y'all. That's my city, y'all.
That's not something to be proud of.
Wow. Yeah, that's a little next level.
Yeah.
We're a wholesome city. We just try to keep it, natural on victories like that. We celebrate calmly and quietly, and then we go home because nobody wants to go to jail.
Well, that in fact, when was the last time your teams did shit?
2015. Now shut up.
When was the last time Kansas City did anything?
Okay, first of all, we are not going to talk about your bootleg Eagles, okay? Just because you
Bootleg.
got lucky that 1 year. That
Yeah.
1 year.
Doesn't matter. Do we have a ring? Do we have a ring?
Yeah, what took y'all so long, though?
Do we have a ring? That's all that
It took y'all
matters.
forever,
I don't care. I'll give you the same argument I give to the Cowboy fans when they talk about, like, well, we got 5 rings. Yeah, you can watch the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Just dust off that VCR.
You know what? Get your whack Eagles. Y'all got shot down in the air anyway this year. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, we're garbage this year, and I'll be the first one to admit it. We're garbage this year. I stated the worst mistake we could ever done was get rid of Nick Foles and bet the fucking farm on Carson Wentz. Wentz is garbage. Garbage. But again, we're not here to talk sports. This is Venus's show.
Well, that's initially what it started off with, like with Don Cherry. Like, you guys know how a team is impacted when you lose one good player. We lost our god of hockey. So I'm not a huge sports fan, but I'm still like, this is a tragic day for all of Canada.
Well, look, I'll ask this one. I'll ask this Canadian sports question here. You guys fucking, like, you worship hockey in general, and I know there's Canadian hockey teams in the NHL, you know, like the fucking Canadians and the Nordiques and so on, the Maple Leafs, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But do you guys support, because, you know, 90% of the NHL, no matter what city they're in, are Canadians. The rest are Czechs and you know, Russians, but mostly Canadians. You guys support all the teams just because it's primarily Canadians playing?
Yeah, we don't look at it like as like this team or this team. We're like, yeah, go Canada. You're a Canadian team. We're rooting for you.
We got
Canada won. We don't say like this team won. We say Canada won. Straight up. That's what it is. But then we were like, oh yeah, it was this team. We're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. But Canada won. Canada won. It doesn't matter what team.
Well, I mean, we got one black guy in the NHL.
I think there's a total of 5.
I know.
I think. Well, you know.
We're slowly taking over hockey.
Yeah, very slowly.
I'm sorry, it's cold. Okay, we don't do cold.
Look, you guys are coming. You guys are starting to take over hockey because the Dominican Republic took over baseball.
Okay, first of all, if you haven't noticed, the Dominican Republic dudes look like us. So it's sort of like we just got an extension. It's just they speak Spanish. We just got an extension. It's an international extension. It's like, okay, the American black dudes ain't working. Okay, let's try the ones over there in the islands. You're welcome.
Well, wasn't it once a slave island?
Yeah, like a lot of the Caribbean were full of slaves.
Look,
Yeah.
Look, all I know is I missed the baseball days where I can actually pronounce the players' names.
Well, consolation. Now you can get cultured while watching baseball.
That's why I watch hockey. I have fun trying to pronounce their damn names.
I would love to hear you try to speak French.
It's not just the French. Like I said, we got the Czechoslovakians and Russians in there too. So you got some fucking names, dude.
I can't even pronounce Czechoslovakian.
You got some fucking names in there, dude.
You know what? You know how they say the Czech Republic in German?
How?
Die Tschechische Republik.
Nice. So you
The
knew that.
Cheshire?
The Tschechische Republic.
It almost sounds like Le Cherche Republic.
It almost sounds like somebody trying to say Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire.
It's Worcester.
Look, I watch Telemundo and it's particularly soccer on Telemundo, not because I understand Spanish. I listen to the commentators for when they have to say an English word. Pepsi Cola.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. Sometimes I be watching the Spanish channel because it be lit too. Like, I'm a pro wrestling fan, so sometimes I just be watching the wrestling matches or the soccer matches. And they be like, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Oh, give it up. I'm kind of excited. I don't know what he said right now. He probably could have said "kill Americans." I still would have been like, "Oh, that was exciting."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which, by the way, going back to your daughter saying Americans are stupid, I'm gonna break her heart. Remind her that Canadians are Americans too. It's all part of North America.
No.
Oh,
What?
Not that technicality.
What? No. I think every Canadian will sit here and argue with you right now.
What's the continent?
Any Canadian will.
What's the continent?
Are you kidding me?
Hey, my country is the United States of the continent of America. Canada is part of the continent of America.
North America. Okay, so what about South America? You gonna start saying Brazilians are Americans too?
Well, technically, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Chileans are Americans.
People refer to like our side of the world as the Americas.
Yeah, North, Central, and South America. It's the continent. See, a lot of people make that. A lot of people make that misconception is that they think people from the United States are the Americans. No, we are the United States of America.
Plus, to your daughter, we do not. 64% of us do not think chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
Okay.
Because your heater doesn't work doesn't mean I believe you live in an igloo.
Exactly. We know it's cold in Canada, but we know that you don't live in an igloo.
Yeah, we know.
I was actually seeing something like, where was it? Pennsylvania passed a law that if you let your dogs out in the snow at an extreme temperature, you're going to be charged and all this crap. And I'm looking at the extreme temperature, and that extreme temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. And I'm sitting here like, what? That's extreme. Our dogs go outside at minus 20 degrees Celsius, and they fucking love it.
We don't. But the thing isn't the fact that you put them outside; it's the fact that you leave them outside.
Yeah, like you leave them outside while you going to work or something like that. I can see that.
Well, not even people that do that. There's people that like just leave their dogs outside 24/7. Rain, shine, hot, cold. They don't care.
My dog could be outside all day. He comes in at nighttime though. So I have to make him come in inside. Okay, so according to a study, 7% of Americans think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows, while 48% are unaware of how it is made. So 16.4 million adults, slightly more than the Pennsylvania population, think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
Yeah, who did they survey on that? Must have been people wearing pink pussy hats because normal human beings know what fucking Nestle Quick is. We know how chocolate milk is fucking made. We know what Hershey's chocolate, especially in Pennsylvania. We know what Hershey's is.
So Global News had that, and the Washington Post posted that.
Consider the sources.
Where the study came from.
The Washington Post, consider the source.
CNN posted it.
Again, consider the source. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but fake news.
You can just search it up. I honestly just searched up on Google how many Americans think chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
Look, I'm not saying that there ain't dumbasses out there that think that. What I'm saying is that quote unquote survey or poll sounds so doctored up because majority of the country does not believe chocolate milk comes from brown cows. And if they are, that is a failure of the education system.
Okay, thank you.
That is again, I don't want to sound like Donald Trump here, but consider the source. Washington Post, CNN, reporting this shit, fake news. As I said, with Pennsylvania, especially with Pennsylvania, we know what Hershey's is. We worship Hershey's.
The chocolate.
Yeah, we know where chocolate comes from. And we know how to put it in our milk.
Oh, Fox News posted it too.
Opposite end of the coin, same argument.
Sweet Gallagher's ghost.
Sweet Gallagher's ghost. Is Gallagher dead? No, he's not dead.
You know, I did think about becoming Black Gallagher, but that's a whole different story.
Would a black Gallagher smash watermelons?
What?
Yeah, I fucking went there. I don't care.
Okay. Okay, so American white person and Canadian white person.
Yes.
Okay. There's something I must say to you guys.
You love us.
Okay. Why do y'all wear shorts in the wintertime?
I don't. I've known people who do, though, but they were normally like fat asses, so I figured they had the insulation.
No, yeah, motherfuckers wearing shorts, too.
We wear them during the winter because we gradually get down to that temperature. We walk outside in the middle of September, and the temperature the day before was plus 25. We walk outside the day after, and it's now minus 15 degrees Celsius. And we're still wearing our shorts, and we're just like, well, fuck, I'm not going back in the house now to change. Gonna deal with it in shorts. Because we're tough like that.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. White people, especially with winter, white people are stupid. I've watched so many videos, especially of girls, you know, like, who want to dive into fresh snow in a bikini.
Well, I mean, that's fun for everybody except them.
No, it's not. Who does that? Unless it's like the polar dip and you're like raising money for like some whatever. It's not fun to freeze your fucking nipples off.
Well, even if it's for a good cause, it's not fun to do, but yet I see videos all the time of people doing that shit. It's like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
You know it's for the erotic.
Usually it's for fundraising.
For fundraising, makes sense. For not fundraising, to get likes on YouTube, stupid.
Yep.
What do you think about it? It is sexy.
No.
You know I'm being sarcastic when I'm saying all this, right?
I'm like, you're not convincing me to do this.
It's like, look, baby, I want your nipples to be so fucking hard. I want them to be like fucking like light bulbs.
I want to deep throat them.
I want you to be cut through the dickiest glass in the bank so we can rob that motherfucker.
Yo, like and subscribe to this channel. If we get to 1,000 subscriptions by New Year's Eve, Venus and on New Year's Day will jump into like 3 feet of snow, which will be right outside her Canadian home, in a dental floss bikini.
Mm-hmm. And Venus is
maybe if we hit 1,000 views, or 1,000 subscribers, but
you heard it here. She agreed to it. 1,000 subscribers by New Year's Eve. Guys. Get on it.
And plus, you haven't seen what she looks like. Go to her Instagram. She's fucking hot. There you go.
Yes, I just exploited our hot girl.
Exactly.
Thank you.
That's what we do here. We taking it back to 1950s, damn it.
That's right.
Admin shit.
If I do it, Mr. AKA is going down with me.
You know
God. What? Put him in a leopard print thong.
You know
Does Kansas
what?
even have snow?
If I get 1,000 views on my show, I will wear a fucking purple thong with black lavender and tatted on the ass. While
I'm jumping in the snow, right?
And jump in the damn snow for those 1,000 views. You know what? Fuck it. Black lavender will do it too. I will be making a comeback. That means I'm going to start doing push-ups and sit-ups again.
All right, we've got a deal then.
See, I'm going to do it because I don't want to just put the first lady of the show on blast like that without me doing it too. So I would feel better if I was also joining in on this bet. So let's get them 1,000 views for her show, okay?
Hey,
they're taking down the woman, and the woman's going after the minorities. I mean,
well, look, the
yes, this is 1950s America.
The white American male will join in, so he shows that he's inclusive. If we hit 1,000 subscribers by New Year's Eve, I'll make a snow angel in nothing but a leopard print thong.
Nobody wants to see that.
No. I got a better idea.
Humiliation works too.
Chris is gonna go to his lady and do the Magic Mike dance. He's gonna put on Genuine Pony, and then do an imitation of Magic Mike for his woman.
Look, the worst part about that, the two worst things about that is Magic Mike and Genuine.
Mm-hmm. You better pull a Channing Tatum, then.
How about I just wear assless chaps and fucking dance to Old Town Road? I mean, come on. I mean, how embarrassing do you want me to be here?
Hey, you want to ride till you can't no more? Go on ahead.
No, I'm good, man.
You wanna ride till you can't no more?
Dress up as Bad Santa, and do something to the Justin Bieber song "Baby." I mean, like, how bad do you want to humiliate me?
Like, why you gotta be hating on Canadians so much?
Look, if I have any hatred to Canadians, it's Justin fucking Bieber.
If I have any hate towards Canadians, it's Justin fucking Trudeau.
I think I hate Bieber more than Trudeau, and that's saying a lot. I don't like Trudeau either.
Yeah, but Trudeau doesn't run your country.
Yeah, but Nickelback is evil.
Oh, yes.
But Canada gave us Alanis Morissette. Canada gave us Alanis Morissette, and according to Kevin Smith, Alanis Morissette is God, so thank you.
Okay, and they also gave us Drake, and black people love Drake. Okay.
Yeah, Drake is pretty hot.
Exactly. But at the same time, I will not allow light-skinned dudes to come back in style. I'm making that a no. Okay.
Did you hear that, Chris?
Clarify?
The whole channel went silent.
I
feel like I just got doxed out of this.
Yeah, I think you did.
Not that light-skinned, and not think that, not think about the fact that once I slap you, you turn pink. You are not hard.
You know what?
I'm whiter than everyone. I don't even tan, okay?
You know what? You bring up something a black friend of mine used to say in school all the time, which I thought was hilarious. It's like, why do white people call us colored? When it's cold, we black or brown. When it's hot, we black or brown. When it's, whatever, we black and brown. Y'all people, when it's cold, you turn blue. When it's hot, you turn red and brown and tan. And when you get hit, you turn purple and pink. It's like, we ain't the colored people. Y'all are.
It's true. Y'all change like different colors all the damn time. Y'all like a damn chameleon.
I'm always white. It's just white.
Comma, chameleon.
I honestly have to put blush on my cheeks when I do my makeup because I have no pigment in my cheeks. Unless I'm sweating.
Are you a natural blonde?
Naturally, yeah.
The reason I ask is usually people that are that pale, like porcelain pale, are usually either albino or redhead. Usually have those types of complexions.
Yeah, albino has the red tint in their skin and in their eyes, the pink tint, pigment. And yeah, I've got like reddish tones in my hair naturally.
Okay, so that's why you're extra pale.
Ines, what kind of Canadian are you?
What do you mean? I'm not sure how to answer.
Okay, actually, you know what? That's not even a correct way to ask. European-wise, what's your family genes? Are you Swedish or something?
No, my dad is actually Dutch, and his dad is from America. He was a soldier who went to Amsterdam during World War II, knocked up a Dutch woman, and then brought her back to America with him. So my grandfather's American. My grandmother is Dutch. My dad was born in Amsterdam. And on my mom's side, we're Métis, which is like an Aboriginal, and Norwegian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot more. That explains everything then.
Actually, on my dad's side, there's a lot of Spanish. So.
You're what? Huh? What?
On my dad's side, he's got a lot of Spanish. But I guess Spanish is white too.
Well, I was about to say it depends. It depends if we're talking about like Mexican or South American, then you're tan. But if you're talking like Spain, then there's a lot of white Spanish people in Spain.
Oh, very white.
When it comes down to it, though, I think I think everyone's like ancestry has got to cross some lines at some point. Like I even have I think my great 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 grandmother on my dad's side was black, and yeah, I don't think that anyone in this world does not have like some combination of everything like at some point.
I'm pure blood.
Pure what?
German.
Okay.
Now I've diluted the shit out of it with my kids because they come from me, and then their mother, who was English, Dutch, and Swedish, I think, is the bloodline that her side came from. So, but yeah, my family, pure blood Germans.
Man, I couldn't even tell you. Man, everybody been fucking to my family for so long, for generations. I'm just gumbo.
Yeah.
Gumbo. That's about it. Like that's all I can tell you. It's like, ooh, tits, legs. I'm gonna go fuck that.
Oh, and just so people know too, just because I'm pure blood German and a conservative, no, I'm not a fucking Nazi. My family fought against the Nazis, okay?
There were good Germans during World War II, people. Good grief. Even I know there were good Germans. Hell, my best friend is German. And, I mean, he is so German. Oh my gosh.
He likes his sauerkraut.
You know what's weird? He does not like sauerkraut.
What the fuck is wrong with sauerkraut?
I fucking love sauerkraut.
Grandma's part German. Hell, I love sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut is the bomb. Oh my god, put that shit on everything.
Hell to the yeah.
Even on omelets, like sauerkraut on omelets.
Oh,
that actually
man.
Sounds good. That does sound
Oh,
good.
it's amazing.
Man, I like to put like sauerkraut and sausage on some fucking eggs. This shit is so good.
Oh fuck yeah, especially on sausage, mustard, and sauerkraut. That's the way you have a sausage dog.
Oh,
Hey,
man, how about some kielbasa and sauerkraut?
That's one thing I can say is, like, even when the Italians were working with the Germans and the Axis allies and shit, right? Think about it. Hey, yo, one thing the Italians didn't complain about was the damn food. They even said the food was delicious. Everybody said food sucks.
The big thing
Germany
about
has some of the best food in the world.
the big thing about Germans is they like meat. Most dishes have meat in some way, shape, or form.
Hey, yo, but that's so damn fresh, though, because, man, when I was in Germany and I would have breakfast, man, I'm talking about fresh bread, and the meat was so damn fresh, it looked like it was about to moo at you as soon as you grabbed it. Or oink or something. I don't even know if it neighed.
Germans like meat, and Germans like beer. But not the bullshit beer like we get here in the United States. No. That bullshit you think is high end, they feed that to kids. That's children's beer.
No, we talking Arsteiner. We're talking like actual German beer, some Dunkels. We're talking like straight up hoppy, but got flavor. You can tell that's been made for hundreds of years into a possibility of connection with the German essence and what it means to be a culture of thousands of years.
Well, that in effect, like, understand, like, Germans will drink beer throughout the day. They'll work and drink beer. And they'll eat bread while they're working, so that way it's sopping up the alcohol so they don't get drunk. But they'll drink beer all day.
Oh, yeah, that's a soft drink in Germany.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they just took... You know what's funny about Europeans? Okay, you remember... did you ever see that article about Russia? Where they finally took out the menu beer as a soft drink? I was like, of course that's a damn soft drink. Fucking vodka is water to them.
Nostrovia.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, you speak of vodka, and of course, most people, they think of vodka, they think of Russian. I got a bottle of Polish vodka. I had a contractor that used to come work on the apartments that I was a maintenance mechanic for, and I used to help him out whenever he was there, and I didn't have like work I had to do or whatever. And as a thank you, because he's Polish, as a thank you, he ordered a case of the fucking Polish vodka and gave me a bottle. Dude, potato water good. Polish potato water good.
Right, what are you gonna be doing after you drink Polish vodka? Oh, I want to go vacuum the lawn.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the fuck you.
And you guys are making me hungry with all this food talk.
Shit, I'm thinking about the Czechoslovakian shot I had of vodka they got the Czech Republic. Oh fuck no, never again. I think basically that whole thing basically cleaned my insides out and probably cured cancer from that shot.
Nice.
That's some fucking strong shit. I was like, what the fuck is this, embalming fluid? The fuck? I was like, oh,
All you need is one.
Wait a minute. What kind of self-respecting black guy are you? You talking about that being embalming fluid? I know you had a grandmother with fucking mason jars full of corn liquor.
Okay, let's not go there.
Oh,
First of all,
look,
I was
I knew an old black lady down in the Logan section of Philadelphia growing up. Then she made her own homemade corn liquor, and she'd always give me a jar of it. Man, that shit, that will fucking take chrome off a bumper.
shit, chrome off a bumper. That sounds like that take off the damn paint off a whole household. That's a maneuver. That's the shit. You take one shot, you go blind for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like, I remember when I was able to see, and that's how we got Ray Charles.
He'd guzzle the whole jar.
Hell to the nah.
God damn.
Let's see.
Well, guys.
Between, having a nice drink and just fucking destroying your life in one night, okay? Let's just make that clear.
I've got to get off the show, though. I've got to call it quits for now. My dinner's ready, and I've got 2 hungry children.
Absolutely.
So you guys can continue if you guys want, but I've got to go. So you can find me on Realm of the Mist. It had to be said with Venus. Facebook, Venus Chan. Instagram, Venus Uncensored. And my fan page, Realm of the Mist, presented had to be said with Venus. And with that, I am out. So you guys have a great night.
You as well. We'll go ahead and close up.
Y'all should know by now, Venus is my baby mama. She's taking care of our kids. Second of all, yes, I know it's a Canadian affair. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, Venus. But now, you guys can find me on Delivery Bros Podcast on Instagram, Delivery Bros Pod on Twitter, and on Delivery Bros KC on Facebook. By the way, my name is Anthony Anthem. If you haven't heard of me, now you have. Check me out, and there we go.
And
Perfect.
Of course, you can find me here at Realm of the Mist Entertainment, or over at our sister channel, Sounds Dicey Gaming, where we do tabletop RPG gaming as well as video game Let's Plays. Make sure you give a like and subscribe to both those channels. If you're one of those people that just like to listen, don't like to watch, make sure you look up Realm of the Mist Entertainment on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard.
Oh, yeah, I'm also on Anchor, too, so find me under Delivery Bros. Yes. Add that part. And we're on every
All right.
when it comes to your listening needs. Also, with that, I'm going to go find a Canadian wife, and I'll see you guys later.
Have a good night, guys.
Ciao for now.
From celebrity interviews to Star Wars, to things that shouldn't be said but had to be said, to conspiracy theories, or maybe just a night of playing Dungeons and Dragons. Whatever the podcast you're looking for can be found here at Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Make sure you check out all of our shows because there's something for everybody there.